Has this ever happened to you? Having a massive lead and going for a dive with your jungler, and then this happens? And then it turned into this. And this. And then this. And then your worst nightmare. And after the failed dive, ultimately led to this. The Riven didn't follow the guide checklist, and it led to a loss. And that's something we need to talk about, is diving. Especially in the top lane, or solo lane, or bot lane. It does not matter. Diving is one of the most important things to know to get a lead, or to carry on a lead and put somebody out of the game. Now we're going to talk about a little bit of a dive checklist. These are the things we're looking for in the dive checklist. Is the enemy's key abilities down? This could be for an Akali, like her Shroud. This could be enemy flash. This could be a Riven's E. This could be anything that allows them to get away or makes the dive very difficult. Do I have mine up? Do I have my parry? Do I have ignite? Do I have flash? Do I have my full combo, my abilities to be able to use them on this tower dive so I can get this kill as fast as possible? Do I know where our enemy team is? So do I have vision of the jungler? Do I know where their enemy support is? Is the enemy support roaming? Do I see the mid laner? Do I have help? Is my jungler here? Is my support here? Is my mid lane roaming to help me with this dive? Is my enemy below 50% HP? This is going to be very important. It's going to be very difficult to dive somebody who has 100% HP, and typically in that case, if they are full HP, you're probably going to walk away and not bother with it. Is the wave stacked? You're looking to stack the wave with a slow push and get around 3 waves of minions going into the tower, so that the tower dive is more than worth it, because even if you die, enemy's going to miss out on 3 waves worth of gold and XP. So we got the dive checklist, and another thing to take note of when you're going to dive with your jungler or mid laner, you need to take into account who is going to take aggro. Now typically, if the jungler is somebody like Elise or Master Yi, those are the champions that you want to take aggro, because they're able to avoid getting hit once the kill is over. So any champions like that. Now obviously if I'm half HP and my jungler sitting in a bush ready to dive the enemy and they're full health and I'm 50%, then they need to tank. So it's just something to think of in that moment while you're setting up your large wave and your jungler's pinging that they're on the way, or your mid laner. Just make sure you think about, how much HP do I have? Am I the person tanking, or are they the person tanking? First things first, when it comes to tower diving, make sure that you're comfortable using the toggle champions only. So this will make it so that you don't hit the tower, or you could fight somebody in a large minion wave and not hit the minions, and your auto attacks, your abilities, they will only hit the other champion. So they'll only target champions. Now you can find this in the game tool here. Treat target champions only as a toggle. Twiddle next to the 1 is what we're going to press or hold down, toggle not, whichever you want to do. So you can obviously go in and you can try it both ways and see what you like best. So for me, I like to hold it because I'm going to just walk in, I'm going to press R, and then I don't have to worry about hitting the tower. You'll see I literally cannot hit it if I want to. It will not allow me when I have the toggle champions only unless there's absolutely no targets next to me, right? But if I Q forward, it will make sure to hit this. So getting used to doing this, and then also obviously you can put the dummies in weird spots, like behind the tower, to get really comfortable with it and make sure that you're comfortable hitting the target dummies before you go into a game and try to do it against a champion. Because you never want to be that guy who goes in for a tower dive and then ends up hitting the tower twice, and then you and your jungler die, or you and your mid laner, and then the game is kind of over, kind of out of control, right? Because then your top laner just got 2 free kills, laning phase gets insanely hard. But like doing this is so great. You just sit here for 5 minutes, get used to it, play with it a bit, make sure you do it under the tower as well. And you can even go down to the bot lane if you'd like and try that. You can just mess around with it. It's just something to play with, something that's going to help you get more comfortable. You can decide if you want to use the toggle or if you just want to hold it while you fight. And find out what's comfortable for you before you go into a game, obviously. So just getting used to this is great. But also keep in mind, this is an amazing tool for fighting in a large minion wave. So if I'm fighting in a large minion wave, I really like to use this as well. It's something that I've just got used to from tower diving, so now I use it when I'm fighting in a large minion wave. Because if you've got like 30 minions there and you have to make sure that you're just clicking the enemy champion that you're fighting against and avoiding clicking any of the minions, there's a really good chance you're going to make a mistake, no matter how pinpoint your accuracy is with the mouse. It is so much better just to get used to this because it's going to help you so much in so many different scenarios, not just tower diving. So in a situation like this, where the wave is pushing in, I know that Diana's pretty weak early. So I can look for a dive and I can try to get a good trade and then set up for a dive. Also, I know that my junglers started bot side, and they are now doing their blue camp, which means I can call for assistance once I get them set up. So we take a very advantageous trade here. So this means that I can start stacking the wave, and this is where I make the decision to slow push this. I don't want my minions to die, but I want to get another wave set up so that I'm able to dive and I make it a lot more worth it for the kill. So we look at the checklist. We're building up the wave. Do we have a wave stacked? We do, and she's trying to clear it. So we're trying to speed it up a little bit. So we know that we have help. We do not know where enemy jungler is, which she is right here. We know that we have our abilities up. We've got E coming back up. We've got Q. We've got W. We've got everything we need. Is the enemy below 50% HP? Enemy's at 50% HP, so that's okay. Does the enemy have key abilities down? No, the enemy does not, but since we have help, we have our abilities. Enemy is below 50%, and the wave is stacked. We've got 4 out of the 6 things checked off the list, which means this is a green light, we go for it. Now, obviously, if you only have like 3 off the checklist, then it's about 50-50, but sometimes a 50-50 is worth it. 50-50 might mean that you die with the enemy, and then they lose out on the wave, and that's okay. So here, we end up going for it. Very easy kill. Diana can't do much. She's got 8 CS, and now she has to use her teleport to get back to lane. We're in the same situation now, just off that one dive. We're now level 6. The Diana is level 4. I am building up a wave, and we are looking at the checklist again. Now, in this situation, we're checking off the boxes as we go. Our parry comes back up. We have our R. We have help. We have a stacked wave, and we know where the jungler is. We just saw him gank bot, and now he's doing the dragon. So that's 4 things, and that's all we need to know. We know where the mid laner is. He's clearing the waves. We know where the ADC and support is. So this is another green light for a dive. Enemy is not below 50% HP, but since we have the wave, we have our key abilities up, and we're full HP as well, we go for the dive again. And there's really not a lot that enemy can do. So once again, another successful dive. This leads to, ultimately, a lead that is almost impossible for enemy to come back from. 30 CS at 10 minutes after 2 successful dives, a level advantage, and it's just kind of free after that. So with that tower dive, with the 2 tower dives, the enemy is now put out of the game. So here we're going to look at a solo dive on Aurelia. And so I ended up getting a kill early, so I have a long sword in lane, which makes me a little bit more powerful. In this situation here, we're actually going to get a gank kill. Sejuani roams up, and now we are up 2-0. So respawn timer is really low, 5 seconds. This is a cannon wave. I'm probably not going to be able to shove this, but I can build this wave up and go for a dive on my own because I should get a 2-level lead advantage. So this is a little bit more intermediate when it comes to diving, but it's something that you can definitely figure out and do a good job with. So we're going to get this set up, and obviously we need to test the waters because this is a little bit different. I mean, we're looking for key abilities down. Do I have mine up? We're looking for where's the enemy team? Where is the enemy below 50%? Do I have help? And is the wave stacked? So when we look at this, this is a little bit different, right? So key abilities down, we know that she doesn't have flash or ignite, but the thing is that we don't either. So they kind of neutralize each other. Do we know where the enemy jungler is? Not really. We saw her a little bit ago down low in bot lane because she failed a gank, but technically we do not. When we look at the blue side, we don't really know where she is. So this is a little bit scary. Is our enemy below 50% health? No, she is not. She's actually full health. Now we do have a level advantage, which can almost be considered similar to the HP. So we kind of want to test it. We want to see if we can hit some vitals or do some damage, get out, take a tower shot, and we'll see. Does our damage equate to the tower shot damage that we took? Am I going to do more damage than the tower's doing to me to see if I can get the kill, right? So do I have help? I do not. Sejuani's not here either. This is a complete solo dive. This is just me and Aurelia. And is the wave stacked? Yes, the wave is stacked. So if I get this dive, it's really, really good, right? So I do have the one thing that I have for my key abilities. I have my flash, and I have my parry. So I need to play this really slow, try to chunk her down, and see what I can do here. So we're going to go for a little bit of trade. She misses E. So now another check has been checked off on the checklist. Now her E is down. So now I know that I can actually go for this. So we kind of walk into her, make her a little nervous because she definitely doesn't want to miss this CS. So when we walk into her, she uses her E. And now her E is on cooldown, and that's for the next 13 seconds. So we have an opportunity, we have a window of opportunity here to go for this dive by ourselves. So we're going to feel it out some more because we went for a little trade and we won the trade pretty hard, even with taking a tower shot. So here we go. We have our flash to get out. We go, we E for the slow, and then we just fade away with a flash over the wall. Luckily, we had enough minions there, and that's another reason that having the stacked minions is really good, because when your opponent attacks you, the minions will stop aggroing the tower, and they'll aggro the target. So especially at this early into the game when she's level 3 like that, those minions do a lot of damage. The minions do a lot of damage. They're the ones who help me get the kill. So this is what we're looking for. Obviously, we want to start with the E or the W. I start with the E here, and then we go for the parry. We get out, and we're good to go. Now, this is obviously a little bit more intermediate or expert when it comes to diving, but if you're able to pull these off, I mean, absolutely, by all means, go for it. This is incredible. I mean, we're talking about a 1,000 gold lead at 3 minutes. Now, granted, I did get the early kill, and I had a longsword, which gave me a little bit of an advantage, but you'll still see these opportunities come up in a lot of your games where I can go for this dive, or I can at least test it. I can at least try and see. Now, in this situation, I went for a very risky dive, more of a 50-50. It's pretty coin flip. We didn't really check off a lot of things on the checklist here, but because I had already had a 2-kill lead, and I know that I can flash away, I have an exit strategy. It's worth it to give it a shot. Now, if I lose flash, that's fine, because I back and then I spend 700 gold, and I still have a massive XP and gold lead. So, worst case scenario, I lose my flash, and we got to test it out. Best case scenario, now we look at this. All these minions are gone. She is sitting at level 2 right now while I'm level 4, and then her wave is going to push back to me so I can recall, and then she's just stuck in a terrible situation, right? So now by the time she gets back to lane, this is what she's looking at. A wave pushing back to me while I have Sheen, 2 longswords working on my divine, and she has longswords. So I get to catch all of this. So it's massive when you're able to pull off a play like that. It's one of the most important skills to have as a top laner when you're going to be in a lot of 1v1s. And guys, that is the dive guide checklist video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this video helps you out with your solo queue adventures. Getting those solo dives off in the top lane is extremely important skill to have and will help you out a lot. So I wish you guys the best of luck in your climb in Season 13. Peace out, love ya, and until next time, bye-bye.